Hey everyone, and welcome back to the 3D Disciple podcast. I'm Bindi, and today I'm here with Abigail, Carlley, Katie, Hannah, Willow, Benjamin, and Bailey. And we are going to be talking about Kids Camp. Woo! Benjamin! Benjamin! Benjamin!
Welcome to the 3D Disciples podcast, where we're working together to develop disciples who display God's love as we deploy into God's world. Join us on this journey by liking, subscribing, and following this channel. I'm your host, Hannah, and alongside us is the pastor of FBC Clarion, Jason Hunter. May Jesus help us climb to new heights.
So, what was your overall thoughts about being a counselor?
I love it. It's honestly my favorite part of the summer. I look forward to it. I can definitely, if I could, I would work my life around being a counselor. I mean, I do for most parts of the summer, but
My favorite part was making connections with all my campers and getting to know them.
I wasn't an actual counselor, but I did have to step up into the role of being responsible of a lot of my cabin quite a few times because my counselor that I was a teen counselor under had to have her kids for a few of the last days, so I had to be in charge of all of the kids and do some of the morning devotions and stuff that we did, and I am very excited for when I'm old enough to be a full-on counselor because I think that it will be a very good role for me, and I love camp so much. Yeah. It is a highlight of my entire year, and every year I'm looking forward to it.
when I saw you being in charge, I thought you were doing very well. I was wow. Look at her go.
Yeah, I know. Disco Blue! I would call out Disco Blue! Disco Blue! And I'd hold my hand up.
Yeah, that's kind of what you have to do.
Yeah, or they can't find you.
No.
I know.
Or you talk to Miss Danielle and is like, can I use your microphone?
Can I use the loudspeaker?
I can yell pretty loud, and so I would just scream Disco Blue as loud as I could, and all of them could typically hear me. And if I didn't find one of them, I'd go look for them.
My campers were normally around me because I always had my speaker on. So
yes, amazing music. Carlley and Trey were the ones who always had music playing on their speakers.
Trey, after I had carried my speaker around, Trey took it upon himself to start carrying his around. Yes. So I was the trendsetter.
Yeah,
I would
Carlley
just like to say I was the OG.
Sure. Yes.
Yep, for
sure.
Yeah. I really like being a counselor, like a teen counselor. Me and Abigail were teen counselors, and Katie and Carlley were full-on counselors. But I really liked it because it was really fun to have more responsibility, like Abigail said, and to just be someone that the younger kids could look up to. I thought it was really cool. And we had preteen camp, so there's kind of two different camp type things. It's all one thing, but it's split into two age groups. Yeah. So there's kids and preteen.
I had a kids camp cabin, which was 3rd and 4th graders.
And I had preteen cabin, which is 5th and 6th.
Yeah, same. Preteens.
Yeah.
Yep. So I had a little bit of a different experience.
Yeah.
From a few things. I mean, because there was I can't imagine game time.
For you guys. It was a little chaotic.
Ours was so fun. Ours
though.
was very boring.
So fun.
Very, boring?
Because there was 2 girl cabins. And whenever they would split us up into the boys
2.
and girls, it would just be 2 girls cabins. And the girls didn't want to do anything very crazy, so we played the bunny thing.
Oh yeah.
And the girls were just walking around. And it was you're supposed to be taking, and so whenever I would because I was playing, and whenever I would they would someone else would, attach, and I would have to be off. I'd be running around trying to chase people, trying to make the game more fun. and Colton and not Colton, Jacob and Landon had to keep actually coming up to girls and be okay, now you need to split, and you need to split, because no one was actually splitting or anything.
Ours was chaos.
Yeah,
we had so many girls running around.
4 cabins.
Yeah, there were 4 girls.
We didn't know who was who.
Yeah, it was so crazy.
Yeah.
It was good.
How did they do the clothespin game with you guys?
No, we did Princess Pony Rider, I think.
Yeah, we did that 2 times because everyone liked it so much.
Yeah, and we had so many girls it would last long enough.
Yeah.
What did you guys think of the games, and did you do any of them with your campers?
I like the games.
Yeah,
I mean,
the
I
games
always,
are really fun.
I always end up getting the girls that hate doing any sort of physical activity, and I can relate because like I don't like moving, but my rule was if I'm playing, you're playing, and so then I would play, so that the way they would play.
Yeah.
But there were some times that I was able to like sneak out of actually playing and just stand on the side and look like I was playing. But I enjoy them. I love doing the games. I liked it better this year with having like them all split up. It was more enjoyable. I'm also super competitive. So like when it was camper versus counselor dodgeball, I was throwing my arm out. I'm like, I haven't done this much movement since softball in high school.
We didn't play camper versus counselor dodgeball, but we did play a round of boys against girls.
Oh.
Move.
But we had quite a few of the boy game guys were on the girls' side.
Yeah.
Yeah, I got a little too competitive with the camper versus counselor dodgeball.
Yeah.
Not my finest moment.
It's okay. It happens.
See, I get incredibly competitive, which makes me not want to play the games because I get too competitive, and I don't like the fact that I'm so competitive.
I get too competitive, but I play the games.
Now I did play Chaos Ball.
Oh yeah, me too.
And I got so competitive during Chaos Ball, and it was like me and this one camper who were left. And of course, I can't run, and I can't dodge, and I can't aim. But I'm like sitting here acting like this tough person, and this camper is so scared of me.
Well, it also helps that you're like this tall, and probably like this
She was
tall.
extremely short, and she was like sitting over there like gathering as many balls as she could, and I'm sitting here with this one like, I can't do anything. If I try to throw the ball, it's not gonna hit you.
I got this ball and I'm gonna use it, but I don't know how.
And if you try to chase me, you're gonna get me.
Yeah.
And then Colton finally was just like, okay, just end the game. You guys both won.
Yeah. For Chaos Ball, I was a little less competitive, but it's because I know how much my campers enjoyed Chaos Ball.
Chaos Ball is the best game of the entire.
I would have to disagree. I did not like Chaos Ball.
What? Me neither.
I did not think it was that fun. I don't
Chaos
know.
Ball is
I like the fox and rabbit game.
I like that one too. It wasn't my favorite, but
We didn't play that.
If it was,
that
that's the bunny one, I think, where you latch on
yeah,
to
the
the
bunny.
tree.
Where you
Oh.
grab.
We all call it different things, because I call
They
it
just
squirrel
call-
in a tree.
They just called it the bunny game.
The bunny game.
Yeah.
Bunny tag. They call it bunny tag.
Bunny
Yeah.
Oh, that makes sense actually.
Yeah.
Kinda, yeah.
We call it like foxes and rabbits or something. Is that
Yeah,
what we call
fox
it?
and
Yeah.
rabbits.
If it was a little more controlled and a little less chaotic, I think I would have enjoyed it more.
Yeah, I agree.
The game guys didn't explain the rules very well with the girls at the beginning. So instead of continuing to chase everyone around, they just found a person who didn't have one, and they just linked arms with each other.
Yeah.
And then the game guys were like, why is there no one running? Oh wait, they just linked arms with each other.
Well, the games guys didn't know the rules.
really?
Yeah,
Grace
they
had to explain it
Grace
to
had
them.
come up.
Yeah,
Oh my
Grace
gosh.
had to.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah,
So that means
funny.
that, wow, that's funny.
Yeah, Grace had to use
I
like
would
the
say that-
loudspeaker.
She came up and grabbed the.
I would
air
say
horn and,
that
like,
for the first time with them all ever doing games thing, they all did very good.
Oh yeah,
yeah,
no.
they did.
I really liked having multiple games guys instead
Yeah.
of just having the one, so that
That
they
is
could
true.
spread out and make sure that things were running a lot smoother.
And it was definitely more enjoyable because of
Yeah.
that.
Yeah.
Well, and we had like 107 campers that they had to like help
crazy.
keep track of. So
Yeah,
like it
that's
makes
crazy.
sense
Yeah.
for like how that worked.
There was a lot
Yeah.
of campers.
So many.
So many.
What was like a big God moment that like stood out to you, or like how do you think you saw your campers grow and like spiritually over the week?
One big, I guess, God moment I saw is my cabin loved The Prodigal by Josiah Queen.
Yeah.
We were obsessed with it. And, like, the one night, one of our Bible stories was focused on the prodigal son. And, like, I was like, wow, look, God is connecting everything. And,
Yeah.
like, the next song we really liked was Light Shine Bright by Toby Mac. And, like, the last night was, like, oh, you gotta shine your light, like
Yeah.
don't let. And I was like, wow, look at God connecting what my cabin is obsessed
it's so
with.
crazy
Yeah.
how that stuff happens. And I think almost all of my girls wanted to come back the next year.
All of my girls wanted to come next year too.
There was one who got a little homesick, and she said she only wanted to come again if her mom helped volunteer one of the days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All my girls wanted to come back. During the whole week, they just kept asking me when chapel was.
That's
They would
awesome.
be like, when's chapel? When's chapel this time? So
Yeah.
that was definitely a God thing there.
Yeah, definitely.
A lot of our campers, they were talking to me about how they wanted to be. A lot of them were in 6th grade, going into 6th.
Yeah.
Yep.
So they were talking to me a lot about, like, how was the junior high mission? Like, because I did the junior high mission a couple years ago, and they just wanted to do it so bad. And they're like, oh, I want to do that. How do you sign up? What'd you do? How was it fun? And I was, like, telling them all about it and stuff. So it's really cool that they wanted to really do that and get involved.
Yeah.
Yeah. And some of them were asking about teen counselors too.
Yeah, they definitely
they-
were interested.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
When they're old enough to do that too. So.
I'm thankful for how much I learn about God and how much my faith and my relationship with God grows during the
Yes.
week,
Yeah.
as much as I hope that the girls that I work with and I touch grow as well.
Yeah. I just have to say, this week wouldn't have happened if I didn't have Abby and Bindi in my cabin.
Yeah. No.
I was like so anxious about this whole week, and then I was like, oh wait, Abby and Bindi are in my cabin.
Yeah.
I got this.
Yeah. having good teen helpers
Yeah.
changes the trajectory of
Yep.
camp.
Yep.
Well, and like I had Abby last year in my cabin, and she was great.
Yeah.
She was a trooper, and like I was fighting off something, so I had no energy.
Yeah.
And like she carried that for me
Yep.
this year. And like my teen helpers this year, Reagan and Leah, they were amazing. My girls were obsessed with them, which is like cool.
Yeah.
Thanks. And like they were just great leaders for the girls. Like I could see how much camp had changed their life and how much they had hoped camp changed the other girls.
Yeah. Like the first night, I was so overwhelmed having 12 girls.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
I was so overwhelmed the first night. Abby and Bindi were like, we got this. We're going to go to hang out at the basketball court. I was like, okay, go do that. I don't care.
Yeah.
They kind of just took control the first night, which was very helpful. So Thursday night was our bonfire.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love that night, just
That was-
worshiping with all my campers, all the campers in general, actually.
It was really good.
One thing I really loved about that night was when we got to stand around the fire.
Ooh.
And like that touched my heart so much. And just my campers came up and they're like, Miss Katie, can you pray for this?
Oh,
Miss
my
Katie,
word.
can you pray for that? I'm like, yes, I'll gladly pray for you. Like there is a picture on my Facebook page that
Oh,
there's me and the camper.
yes, I saw that.
And we're just praying. And I was like, that,
Mm-hmm.
just thinking about it makes me want to cry.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
I was bawling before they asked us to stand up. I
Yep.
was bawling while we were standing
Yep.
up. I was bawling when I was praying. I had
Yeah.
my one. She wasn't even my camper this
Yeah.
year, but she was mine last year. And I had like seen her walking down the side, and I'm like, oh great, tears streaming down my
Yep.
face. I'm like, ah.
Yeah.
Like, and she didn't even ask anything like specifically to pray
Yeah.
for, but like I could just tell
Yep.
something on her mind, something in her heart, and so I was like wrapped her up in a hug and like was just praying, and like she was sobbing into my chest, and I was like snot dripping out of my nose. I was like, oh my gosh. No,
Yeah.
it was a truly monumental
Yeah.
like change,
Yeah.
like just to see
Yeah. Yep.
everybody crying.
Yeah. I had a girl come up to me. She had been in my cabin a few years before, and I had helped her whenever her older sister wasn't able to stay because she got sick. And so I kind of became her homesick buddy. So whenever she starts feeling homesick every year at camp, she comes to me, and she attaches herself to me, and she came up to me during this prayer thing, and she wasn't one of my campers either,
Yeah.
but she just came up to me and just gave me this huge hug and just would not let go until Cameron was finally like, okay, and we all need to go sit back down. And I was like, just come on.
Yeah. Well, my camper came up and she's like, can you pray for me? I was like, yeah. So we held hands and like I felt her grip just cling to my hands. I'm like, okay, God, give me the words to say here.
Yes, I was going off that because so I was just like sitting there and they called all the counselors and teen counselors down at the front. I'm like, what is happening right now? And then he's like, and they'll pray for you. And I'm like, what? Yeah, so that was a little out of my comfort zone, but I'm really glad that I got the opportunity to do that because I think it was a really great experience. And then like the first girl that came to me, I was just like, okay, here we go.
Here we
So
go.
then, yeah, and then and then a whole group of like 5 came over to me, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And then a little girl that I knew before, she wasn't in my cabin, but from dance.
Yeah.
We're really close and stuff. So she came over, she just hugged me, and then I'm like, do you want to pray? She was like, yeah. So we prayed, and then not our whole cabin, but a lot of people, kids from our cabin, we just like huddled up and started praying. Abby prayed for us all, and it was really nice.
Yeah. And then afterwards, I think we were all going back to our cabin, and my girls were like, can we just stay here a little longer? I was like, sure, why not? We're going to stand here in this circle and just pray right now.
Yeah.
And after I got done praying, I looked up, and one of the boy counselors, Caleb, he was knelt down on the ground with a camper. I was like, oh my goodness, that is so sweet. Just seeing everyone pray right there.
Yeah.
Afterwards, I wasn't able to stay. We weren't able to stay for very long, and I was kind of like thrown into the whole responsibility of being a counselor again because the counselor, she had to get her kids to sleep. So she had to get them to bed, so she scooted out really quickly and didn't tell me that she had left. And so I thought that my campers had already left because they were with the counselor, and the teen counselors were supposed to stay afterwards to help clean up and stuff.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, I guess I have to go help them now. And so then I was like, I really wanted to be able to like step into my teen counselor job of being able to like help with the campers, but then I had to like fully take charge and be like, okay, we're going. But it was still awesome.
Yeah.
Definitely I am very sad that last year it got messed up because of the storm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because this year, and they had like the professional musicians and everything.
Yeah, that
It was
was
so good.
That
It
was
was
good.
so good.
Yeah.
And I was sitting outside, and I could hear him playing off this practicing, and it was just like so beautiful. And I was like, oh my gosh, tonight is gonna be amazing.
Yeah. No. That was great.
Yeah.
Thank you, Miss Danielle, for bringing your friends.
Yes.
That was. Thank you so much.
They were amazing.
I was sitting in front of my cabin, like crying the whole time. Like,
my hands were raised the whole
Oh,
time.
yeah,
If you go back and watch like the live stream they posted, you can like see everyone is just raising their hands, praising,
and I'm not like when I praise or pray or anything, I'm not really like a hand raiser.
Me neither.
Like it's weird to me.
Yeah.
But like I was like, oh yeah, hands are up.
Yes.
Well,
hands are up today.
And the one chapel song, it was like lift my voice or something.
Yeah.
Like my hand, I was like, yeah, this is a good one. Like that.
Yeah. And the teen counselors, we were called off to the side during it to be able to get all like, so we had cotton candy for the night. We were called off to the side to help bring that on so you guys could still have like the, moments with your campers and stuff. And I wish I could have, been there for more of the songs, but we're there to help you guys be able to have the connections with your campers and stuff.
Yeah.
Me and Abby did not get the memo to go help with cotton candy.
No,
We
they just
stayed
sat there.
We did not know.
The thing is, they didn't tell us. I just was looking around and I was like, oh, there's people helping. Maybe I should go up there.
Yeah, we did
now.
not
Abby and
know.
Bindi were still raising hands.
Yeah, we were just sitting there like, this is such a great
My
moment.
teen helpers were like, well, I had one. She was stuck in the middle of the group of girls, and then she had Annie on her lap, so she wasn't moving. And then my other one, Reagan, she was sitting beside me, and we were both in it. And like, I saw Chloe, who was another counselor, got pulled off and was helping pass out. I was like, what are you doing? But it was a good night. Probably my favorite night.
Oh, yes.
Probably my favorite night activity.
It touched my heart, and just seeing all of my campers just praising the
Yeah.
Lord, and it was just so much fun, and praying again, like standing there praying with them. It was lots of fun.
It was a good night. It was a great night.
It was an awesome night.
Yeah. For being a first-time counselor, that was an awesome
you did
night.
great. You were great, Miss Katie. You were wonderful.
Like the whole week I was praying, God, just give me the words to say as the week goes on.
Yeah.
Because being a first-time counselor, you never know what to say.
You never know what to say.
Yeah, you never know what's going to happen.
You never know what problems they're going to bring with you, what home life they've got, and like
so
it was
like
but
each morning I would wake up, do a devotional, and I would just praise the Lord. And while I was praising, I was just like, give me the words today, Lord. Just give me the words to say today.
Help me say what they need to hear.
Yep.
That help them take away what they need the most.
Yes.
So that was kind of my mantra. Like, help me say what they need.
Yeah.
Help them hear what they need.
Yeah, that's for sure.
Like, even if they don't get the Bible story themes or the theme
Yeah.
of the week, as long as they hear what they need to hear, what
Yes.
you
Yeah.
think they need to hear, what God knows
Yeah.
they need to hear, that's better for me than
Yeah.
any kind of sort of lesson we could have done.
Yeah.
Yep, for sure.
Because it's not about how amazing the program that they've put together is. It's what the kids and the campers take away from that week, what they actually learn and stuff. Because no matter how amazing the scripture might be, like the thing that we're going through might be, if you don't like engage with them and make sure that they're understanding and learning and stuff, they're not going to take anything away from it.
Yeah.
One thing that was super cool that we got to do in our cabin was during the nighttime devos, we got to share our testimonies. Like Katie, Abby, and I got to all share our testimonies. So that was super cool, just to get to talk to the girls like that and just kind of share what we've been through, and they're not alone. Like, let them know, like, we're going through the same stuff. And me and Abby, we were all like telling them a lot, like, we've been there, like, we know what you're going through. Like, we're like, they were 6th grade and we're only going into like 10th, so it's not that big of a age gap. Like
10? Sorry.
Yeah, so it's not like that big of an age gap. So like, we were there, we know exactly what they're going through. Like at least one of us has probably been through something similar. So like, we were just trying to get them to be like, they can come to us and we can help you with whatever.
We've been there, and we've been through everything pretty much.
Between the 3 of us, we've got it pretty nailed down.
Yeah. A lot of life experiences there.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yep.
Yeah. No.
But
Each of you had your own thing to bring to the table.
yeah,
We all had like very different themes to our testimonies, and it was like really cool because like, I mean, they all have to be able to relate in some way to like one of them. Because we kind of covered all corners there.
Yeah. I think mine was like friends and losing someone close to you, very close to you.
Yeah.
So, and what was yours?
Mine was more like physical, like medical things, and like just mentally how to go through that and still stay strong in the Lord.
Yeah.
Yep.
And Abby's was a lot also like mental, that kind of thing, and
Anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety. Abby talked a lot about that.
Yeah. So that was like what our testimonies were about, and it was nice to share them with our campers.
Yeah.
It was super
Because then
cool.
they could talk to us about anything really.
And we talked for a long time that night. That Evo was long. They just we just kept talking.
I was like,
about.
girls, I gotta go to my counselor
Katie had to
meeting.
leave because she's like, oh, my meeting's starting right now. I gotta go.
I have to go be an adult. Sorry.
Yeah. And then we kept talking. Me and Abby kept talking to them, and then finally we were like, we have to go to bed. Like, we gotta stop.
Yeah. You wake up bright and early the next morning.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of, that was
That was a struggle in our cabin too. It was waking up at 7 o'clock in the morning.
Well, I would try and wake up at 6:30 every morning or earlier, so I could take a shower whenever it wasn't packed in there.
I woke up at 6. Katie woke up super early.
Yeah, mine was 5:30.
Wow.
I
I was 15 minutes before they had to wake up. 6:45 every day. And I'm kind of like an easy waker. So I would do like everything I needed the night before. So I was up till like midnight, 1 a.m. Wake up at like 6:45, get changed, dressed really quick, and then turn on my speaker and blast some sort of good morning song.
Yep, that's how we did it too.
I had to find a different song for each day, and
Ours.
Yep.
Yeah.
We met on the porch at 7
Yeah.
every morning, and I had my tiny little speaker, and we burst in the door and blasted music.
I think one morning I was standing out there and I was just praising the Lord, and my hands were raised, and I was like, I think someone's standing here, but I don't know. And I just happened to open my eyes, and it was Bindi.
It's 7. Oh, I hit the table.
Let's go.
Yeah, Bindi was like, it's 7, it's time to go. And I was like,
Let's get up.
during cabin cleanup time, we're washing all the sinks and washing everything and making sure everything's nice and tidy. And this one girl in my cabin, she every single day would be like, okay, I'm cleaning the mirrors, I'm cleaning everything. We didn't have to ask her. She would just do it. And her whole bed would be made. Everything was tidy. She would go in there. We would get some
Oh yes, she was organized.
We would
yes.
we would get to like the multi-surface cleaner, and she would be sitting in there scrubbing the sinks and stuff.
That was Riley in our cabin.
Yeah.
She's like, I'm gonna vacuum today.
They
I'm
fought
gonna-"
over vacuuming.
Yeah.
They were like, I don't
I-
vacuum. No, I don't
yeah. My time being like a teen counselor, I've never had campers be like,
Fight over.
yeah, they've never fought over vacuuming.
All of my girls, and there was a few girls that would like struggle with getting up ready and like
Yeah.
making sure everything was clean, and we'd have other girls who would help them.
I had to make sure my girls had shoes on before they left the cabin.
Oh, yeah.
They would leave the cabin without shoes, and I'm like, you don't have shoes. Gotta put shoes on.
Yeah. There were a lot of shoe problems this
Yeah,
year.
really? Yeah.
Nobody wanted to wear shoes.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Not all my girls wore their shoes. One girl didn't have closed-toe shoes, so we bought her some closed-toe shoes for her.
Yeah.
Cameron or Danielle went out and bought her some
Yeah,
clothes.
That's
one
nice.
of our girls was like, I don't wear shoes at home. Why do I have to wear shoes here? And I'm like, because there's bees. You're gonna
yeah,
get
if
stung.
you step on a bee, yeah, that's a fun trip to the nurse.
Because this isn't home.
It's
Yeah.
not home, and it's a lot more outdoor stuff where
Yeah.
you want to make sure that we want to make sure your feet are safe. I think this was the best year I've had so far
Yeah.
Yeah.
because I've done this was my third year, and
Yeah.
I loved it so much. And I don't know if it was because I feel like this year, I feel like the past few years I've not been able to get fully into the camp mode, and like I feel like I also was still kind of in like almost like I still had like this camper mindset to it. And this year I fully stepped into my role of being the responsible a responsible person for these people. And I still was responsible back then, but I still had more of a enjoying my week than making sure they enjoy their
Yeah.
week
Yep.
mindset.
Yep.
And this year I fully stepped into that, and I think that it actually made me enjoy it more.
Yeah.
Because I was able to help them more, which is something that I love doing, is helping students be able to have the best time they can.
Yeah.
I think that was something super cool for me too. Like I was really focusing on like making sure that they were having fun.
Yeah.
Like they were
Yeah.
all participating. They were all
Yeah.
having fun. Like you're gonna have fun and you're gonna like it. You're gonna have fun.
You're gonna play the games.
The party night. That
Oh
was
yeah,
great.
that was
was so
awesome.
fun.
That was so much fun. I felt so bad
so
for my
awesome.
girls. None of them. I said, Miss
Yeah.
Abigail was sitting on the blacktop. Go sit with Miss Abigail.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I had all your
I
girls.
had my entire cabin except for like two.
See, I
yeah.
specifically went out there because of my friend. She was having a hard time, and so I was out there, and then I decided to stay out there because I had some girls come out there, and I was like, we're gonna have a fun time out here,
Yeah.
and we're gonna hang out, and we can still hear the music. So whenever the church clap came on, we were dancing outside because I know that it's hard whenever you
Yeah.
don't like the whole social, the whole like
Yep.
Yeah.
environment of that loud,
Yeah.
stinky, sweaty place.
It was hot and it was
It was
sweaty and it was
really hot.
loud.
And
Yeah.
I was like, so I'm gonna be out here to be a person who is accepting these girls or boys who don't want to be in that environment and
Yeah.
still helping them have fun.
Yeah. I think some of my girls play gaga ball when it was muddy. That was like
yeah.
great.
My girls was like, ew, who's gonna play gaga ball right now? And I'm like,
My
like,
campers.
Yeah.
Because
it's all cabin.
like I was like they were talking about how like rainy it was, and I was like we were like walking past the gym that we hadn't gotten past the gaga ball pit, and they're like no one's gonna be playing gaga ball. We walk past it and just like the entire thing is covered in kids, and I'm like
Yeah.
the mud does not stop
My
them.
campers were a part of that.
Yeah.
I think I only had two that really liked Gaga Ball.
I had a few. I had a little girl named Aubrey, and she was so sporty. She was so athletic, unlike me. And she was in there playing games, and like she would like beat everyone at all the game times. So it was like awesome to see her like in her element, like playing the games and beating everyone. And I'm like, good for you. That's not me.
Yeah. It was such a good time. It was hard, but it was so fun.
It was so fun.
I
Someone
I
handed
love
me a bubble
when
gun
we
and it was
three-
on.
Was it?
No, it was me, you, and Grace.
Me, yes. Us three, we skipped down the middle, and it was
Oh, yes,
so fun.
yes.
I think that I liked the dance party thing better than what we've had in the past few years for
Yeah.
that day,
Mm-hmm.
because I think that it was a better way to be able to worship
Yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
instead of just being like, oh, we're just gonna go play on some bouncy houses and
Yeah.
eat some snow cones.
Well, I like how Cam had phrased it as well. Like, we don't need an invitation.
Yeah.
Like
We're
we
already
don't
invited.
we don't have to do anything, like, because God is already like was our invitation.
I was telling all my girls that their little bracelets were VIC bracelets, very important camper bracelets.
Oh, that's cute.
Because they all got little light up bracelets that could like little fidget spinners. Most of them broke. Not any of my girls.
Yeah.
All of my
All
girls were
mine
in pieces.
broke.
Yeah, they all
together.
broke.
They were all in one piece by the end of the night.
Mine
And they
got
still were
stuck in
playing-
so much hair.
Yeah.
But I was
stuck.
telling them
Yeah,
these
so-
are your VIC bracelets because you were very important campers to every single one of us.
That's so cute.
That's
so
cute.
I loved when we did the song Praise by Evolution Worship or something like that.
Yeah,
And
that
we
was
were
good.
all dancing, and I was like, this is definitely worship right here.
yeah.
Yeah,
We're
that
just
was-
praising the Lord.
That was a fun time.
And camp is also about having fun, but it's
Yeah.
about closing the gap between having fun and being able to worship and learn about God.
Yeah.
And I think that was a great way to be able to gap those two
Yeah.
things.
Yeah.
close
I
together.
forget who said it, but we're trained. Somebody, one of the I think Cam might have been. During one of our counselor meetings, we're training their brains
Yeah.
to associate
Yeah.
Jesus and
Yes.
fun together.
I think it was Cam.
Because he was talking about how Aaron had been praying before,
Yeah,
like
that-
the so and so show.
Yeah, like there's a picture out there that Aaron is praying before the so and so show.
Yeah.
And Cam asked Grace, why does he look upset? And she's like, he's praying. He does this for the kids. So I was like, that's
The kids,
awesome.
all the kids love the so show.
Oh, yeah.
I think
Yeah.
it's like
Yeah.
The
so
best thing
great.
ever.
Yeah.
I was even laughing.
I
too.
love the so.
Any closing remarks?
Go to camp next year.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Come to camp next year.
I love camp so much.
I'll be
Such
a
a fun
counselor
time.
again.
Would highly
Yeah.
recommend.
Yeah, I love
So,
camp.
yeah.
It's changed my life for the better.
Mine too.
Yep.
Willow, Bailey, Hannah, Benjamin. Okay. So Benjamin was a camper. Who was your counselor, Benjamin?
Calvin.
Calvin. And Willow and Bailey and Hannah were junior high mission team. Woo! So, we'll start with Benjamin. As a camper, what was your favorite thing you did the entire week?
Everything.
Everything? Is there anything specific?
No. A
No.
chapel.
Chapel. Chapel was hype. Chapel was so fun. And junior high mission. Let's start with Hannah. What was your favorite thing?
Oh, either swimming, doing worship, being a worship leader at camp
Deal.
during chapel, or like just hanging out and talking to all the junior hires and just having weird conversation.
That was
Bailey, what was your favorite?
well. I liked like all the like different sports things we did because I really like sports. But swimming was also a lot of fun because we were playing a bunch of different games in the pool too. But like what she said, it was so
Willie, what was your favorite?
Okay, so
fun. Willy woo.
so we went to get ice cream, and like afterwards we after that we like played cornhole
That's
and like
wild.
and like stuff like that.
You guys
And,
didn't even comment. Oh my gosh.
Then we had a fire, like not like we had like a fire like
Campfire.
campfire.
Bonfire.
No, it wasn't a bonfire. Just fire.
It's not. We didn't go to the same.
And we did fun games, and that was really fun because we did like night games,
Capture the flag and
and we had s'mores.
Tag and we had
was fun.
s'mores and we did like this weird wolf game.
As junior high mission team, what was something that you learned? Like, what is something you took away from that whole experience?
Well, I learned how to write a testimony, and we did this thing where there's a verse in the Bible that says greet one another with a holy kiss, and they turned the word kiss into an acronym, which stood for no intercede, spur, and serve. But like we learned how to do that, and then we asked each other things about each other, and it was fun time?
I learned how to be more confident when like talking about like Jesus and stuff, because we all like, there was a lot of us, so we all were like talking about it. And I feel like I just got more confident when like speaking.
Like being in a
louder
big
and
group
stuff.
with it.
Yeah, being in like a big group and just like learning how to talk like more like,
Yeah, and like
Okay.
being able to be more outward with it.
yeah.
Well, I feel like I learned that your testimony shouldn't, you just do it like one time and be done with it, but you should keep redoing it because it's like keeps changing and you have to keep adding more stuff to it.
That's so true.
Which changes it. And you can't just like do it once and then have that be like your whole testimony, but it just like keeps changing.
Yep. It's like as it goes on, more stuff gets added, and
Yeah.
you always can change it.
I also kind of learned how to share the gospel with younger children.
Yeah.
There was 2 kids in particular. There was one boy named Josiah, and I asked him, how long have you been going to church and like learning about Jesus, if you have been? And he said, I think he said for a while now. And then also there was a little girl named Allie, and at the beginning I met her on the bus and we barely even knew each other. But then I started just talking to her about the gospel, and by the end of the week I became like her big sister, and she wrote "Jesus loves you" on my arm.
When I did junior high mission team, something that I thought it was such a good experience, but something that I got out of it was like serving. Like we served so much and doing the dishes a lot. I know I saw you guys doing a lot of dishes and doing a lot of serving almost like every meal. You guys get a break like
Yeah, at lunch.
at lunch from dishes, right?
Yeah.
And then at dinner from serving. So they got a little bit of time. But also they serve a lot, but they also get to do a lot of fun stuff too. So what's one of the fun things you got to do that was like your favorite thing? I know you already said a couple things, but
Probably, well, I really liked whenever we got to stay up with the older people. It was fun because we played games with the older people, and it just felt like I was like
with the old
older.
people.
Yes, with the old
With
people.
the ancient people. I thought it was fun to like play with them and like talk to them. Very fun time.
I think that one of the more funnest parts of it was like after we did like a training time thing, we all got to like go out and play gaga ball with like just the junior high people.
That was a lot of fun.
That was fun.
And I got to beat
Because-
the boys like 5 times in God.
It felt more fun whenever it was like just the junior high people, because like whenever there's like a bunch of kids and stuff in there, it was like all like way too crowded,
And
it
then
wasn't
like some of them will just like stand to
Yeah.
the side and be
and
like,
it
"Don't hit
wasn't
me."
that much fun. But like whenever it was like just us in there, we were like all really competitive, and it was like super fun.
Because you can't really, you don't want to hurt anybody, any of the younger kids.
All right, Hannah, what was your favorite fun thing?
As I said, gaga ball and basketball, getting to play with that little girl named Allie. I liked playing basketball with her, and like a lot of the sports were part of my favorite parts. And playing water polo and water Marco Polo.
Yeah, that was a lot of fun.
And the Nukem, that was my favorite.
So also as a camper, I know they got to do a ton of fun activities. So what was your favorite game or like night activity or some type of activity that we did?
My first favorite is bonfire.
Mm-hmm. Bonfire was so fun.
Free time, really fun. Since I learned how to ride the ripstick.
Oh, that's cool.
I like got dodgeball, and after that we played against the girls on dodgeball.
So what did you guys, and Benjamin, everyone at the table, what was one of your biggest takeaways, like spiritually, that you learned?
If somebody like tells you to do something, even if you're like having fun or like you don't want to do it, you should just do it with a good attitude for the Lord. I feel like that's something that I learned, because like even if you really don't want to do it, like because you're like hanging out with your friends, just having a good time, and it's something you don't want to do, it's just good to do it.
And like there's a difference between being like forced to do it, like being forced to serve and stuff, and actually wanting to serve. And that's like wanting to serve is not like
And
better, but like better.
Something I have two things. One was a testament, like God doesn't make your life the way it is for you like to tell it one time to one person and that's it. He wants you to share to as many people as possible to get his word out there. And also I learned like
There's many parts of the testimony that like
Yeah.
you can use to tell people about God, and you don't just have to like, you're not just saying it to say it, but you can use that to help other people come to Christ.
You guys might not know this, but the Skittles.
Yeah.
Oh, the Skittle one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
the Skittles mean person.
That was
Like
a good one.
if we lose a Skittle, it doesn't really matter to us. But imagine them as people.
Like the Bible story where it's like there was like 99 sheep and the shepherd just went to go find that one that was lost and left all the other ones just to go find that singular one.
like yeah.
I liked whenever like they had us like turn on our like flashlights
Yeah.
to see like all the flashlights like light up the room. It was so cool just to like see it all. Like it was so dark and I didn't know everybody had all their flashlights, and then it just like came all bright and I was like, that is so cool.
Like they turned the lights off and had everyone turn on their flashlights to show that if everyone turned on their flashlight, that could be as bright as it was before.
Hmm.
That was a good one.
I also really liked the songs there. They were so much fun. Just
I
to do
love
like
the songs of the show.
dances and stuff. It was a lot of fun.
Okay, so let's go down the table. We'll start with Benjamin. And everyone say the highlight of their entire week.
The chocolate milk.
Chocolate milk is great.
Getting to watch the kids, all the campers, learn more about God, and also just whenever we're having serious conversations during our quiet time, AJ just come out with a random thought and just blurt it out. He'll just like say something random and make us all laugh, and it's so funny. So
I personally really liked whenever we would be like handing out food and drinks at Snack Shack, because we'd be having like our own little conversation, and it was like normally something stupid, but like we'd be having conversation, we'd get to like hand out all the stuff, and I just thought it was fun that we could be like serving and helping do the stuff while we were also having fun doing it.
So my favorite part was probably like making friends, because I made like 2 great friends, and one of them was like one of my like best friends now. Like I really like to hang out with her because she's so nice. And one time we prayed together, and it just made like it like feel like, yeah, she's my best friend now, even if I can't talk to her now. But, like,
oh my gosh.
yeah, I just really liked praying with her and just like being around her because she was just a really good influence.
I guess I also really liked whenever we were like broke down into our little groups and each said like a little prayer.
I like doing that.
and prayed for each other.
I have a highlight.
Ooh, let's hear
At the
it.
beginning,
Story time with Bindi. So, this was the greatest thing that happened the whole week for me. I was sitting at breakfast with Abby and all my campers and Katie, and in comes Jason through the door with these 2 giant half-gallon jars of sweet tea. And it was the greatest moment of my entire life. He hands us each, me and Abby, a sweet tea, and it's this huge jar, and we were just over the moon, excited. It was the greatest thing that has ever happened to me in my entire life. Both those jars, we carried those jars around the entire day, and by the next day they were gone. Southern sweet tea,
the
Number
best.
Mamma mia.
so good.
Mamma mia.
Oh wait, that's Italian, not Southern.
All right, do you guys have any closing remarks?
Go to
Anything
camp.
else?
Go to camp.
Yeah, go to camp. Go to camp.
Like
Even if-
right now.
Even if you don't, even if,
Right, let's go to camp.
even if you don't want to serve, like like, oh, that's boring. No, I don't want to do that. I don't want to do dishes, blah, blah, blah. It's so much fun because you just, like, meet new friends, and then you, like, at the end of the week, you're all one big group, and, like, when you're doing dishes, you're just like, la, la, la. Like, you're not,
And
like,
you don't want to
"Whoa."
leave
You're like,
by the
"La."
end. You're like,
One of the fun parts of doing
Like,
the
you're always
dishes
crying.
is whenever you're like doing them and the floor gets like really wet, and then you just like we like acted like we were ice skating because we just like slide around on the floor. It was
That
so
was
much fun.
So you have to, like, bring the silverware through the
Yeah.
dishy-washy thingy.
And then you have to put it in cups.
Yeah, you have to put it in cups. And when they were in the cups, I dropped it out of the sink into, like, the other, like, dirty, nasty sink. And so we had to do it, like, 5 other times.
So we
that
like
might have been my fault.
So we put it through. So you have to like. There's like a basket that you like just throw them in. So we put it through like 3 times in that, and then you have to put them in cups, and then put like the whole cup and silverware in the dishwasher. And we did that. And that was the 4th time we washed them, and we took them out. And Willow was getting them out of the dishwasher, and she dropped them all in the sink. So we had to re-put them through the dishwasher.
I thought it was going to be lighter than it actually was.
Yeah. So now the running joke was for the rest of the week was if they were
Don't
eating
let
off
Willow
the
take that out.
yeah, don't let Willow take them out.
Willow's
and if
not as strong as she thinks she is.
and if you were eating with that, they probably tasted like soap because of how many times we washed them.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to this episode of the podcast. Our prayer is that you've heard something today that will help you be a better disciple of Jesus Christ. We also want to encourage you to make sure you take your next step in your discipleship journey by considering what it is you would do about what you heard today, and then go and do it. Finally, we want to invite you to join us at 10:30 on Sundays, either at our Main Street campus in downtown Clarion between Dunkin' Donuts and McDonald's, or online at fbcclarion.com. God bless.
Careful, there's horns. Wait, and Hannah? Sorry, Hannah. Read this class.
Got party people gather all around. No time to snooze, we gotta spread the news, so get on up and get down. Get up now, party people gather all around. No time to snooze, we gotta spread the news, so get on up and get down. Clap your hands and everybody dance. The party is popping, nobody's stopping. We're gonna do it right and have a good time. All for you, Jesus, 'cause you're always with us. It's time to start the party. I said this is my towel.
Yes, that was so funny.
This is my sheets towel. I'm from the better store. Who's won store of the year? Not Brookville.
Thanks, Abigail, for the episode. We love you, Pickles.
If you're listening, we love you.
Yeah, you do this with Benjamin.
Huh? Oh, man.
Yes, yeah, wait, I like that. Do that, yes.
Yes.
No. I think that's a youth takeover thing.
That's a word like.
Yeah, that's what we're like.
So, Bailey, we're on, like...
Wait, so we got
I'm running off pure iced coffee right now. I'm running